मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ, अभी रुक जाओ, हट जाएंगे लोग। यहाँ एवरीवन प्लीज टेक योर सीट। एवरीवन, और कोई है बाहर क्या?
स्टार्ट के लिए बोल दे, एवरीवन स्टार्टिंग।
विल बी स्टार्टिंग इन 1 minute। एवरीवन प्लीज क्वाइट डाउन। हाँ,
Yeah, please keep a mobile phone silent and we'll be starting in a minute. So, everyone please settle down.
ओके ओके स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ। 28 हो गए, स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ। उनसे बोलो सर। ओके, सो वी आर स्टार्टिंग हियर। ये ऑन स्ट्रीम आएगा? ओके, so I would like to welcome everyone to the 23rd iteration of Prastuti 2023. After a long pandemic of 3 years and 3 iterations of Prastuti in online mode, we are back again in offline. So let's take a little bit dive to the history of what Prastuti is. So this fest started in 2001. Even before we became an IIT, this fest was there. This fest was started by the Electrical Engineering Society as a paper presentation event in which researchers across the country used to come and showcase their paper, show their latest developments in their research field, and, and motivate students to pursue research. Hence, we got the name Prastuti. Over the year, we expanded over various horizons, we explored different avenues. It is in our core values to explore, adapt, and learn new technologies. In 2014, we started teaching app development. It was just starting back then. And this year too, we have introduced new event, an entirely new event for you people. So the legacy of Prastuti remains intact. We are willing to take risk, and this year too, the the legacy of Prastuti remains intact. We are willing to take new risk and explore new avenues. So moving ahead, this year we have 7 events for you. In this, we have Concilium, Simulink, Oscillon, Recognizance, Hack Overflow, Codigo, and finally, where it all started from, the paper presentation. I, I promise you, no matter which field you are from, if you are interested in tech, we have something for you. Let's take a look at the events first. So, I hope you all know this device, the smartphone. Arguably the greatest invention of this century. Everyone has it, everyone is addicted to it. So, what do you do when you first take out your phone out of the box? You charge it. You plug it in an adapter. Have you ever wondered how an adapter charges a phone? What goes on there? How does a simple power adapter plug into a 230-volt AC supply charges your digital device? And have you ever wondered, like sometime while buying the phone, you must have looked at the stats like it has a 4000 mAh battery, it has a 7000 mAh battery. But sometimes the 4000 mAh battery performs better than the 7000 mAh battery. Have you ever wondered what's really going out there? Even the other phone has higher stats, it's performing low. It all comes under the field of battery management system. To explore more about the field of power electronics, we are back with the event Simulink. For this, I would like to invite Mr. Astit to tell you more about this event.
Yeah. So thank you for your kind words, Weber. So good evening, everyone. I'm Astitwa, and I'll be giving you a walkthrough through the correcting technology that runs this modern world. So let's begin. So what is all based upon it? So it is power electronics, the core at everything like your mobile phones, as we have told. So what is first of all power electronics? It is the technology of converting of one form of electrical energy to another. Some might also explain it as the connecting technology between your software algorithms that run on your PC and the actual high power drives that do the heavy work. So as I have just mentioned, you plug in your phone and it charges up. So what is responsible for charging a battery? A BMS, what we also known as a battery management system. Any mobile device that you have with you, your mobile phones, your laptops, your AirPods, anything, all have one thing in common. They run on batteries and they need a system to deal with it because battery are very moody things. So a battery management system will actually operate your battery in safe operation modes. It will protect it against all kind of faults that the device may occur, or it actually charges it very efficiently so that it lasts longer and it will be worth your money. Next thing we have is how do we actually supply power to this system so that it actually works out. That is the work of our chargers, or more specifically, fast chargers that we have in today's date. So all of you might be having some mobile phones that are rated for like 30 watts, 60 watt, even 120 watts of power. So how does your charger know how much power to supply it? It communicates with the device and then asks it how much power you can handle. Then with a reply, it adjusts its internal power electronic components to supply the correct amounts of volts and amps so that your device is efficiently charged. And not just limiting to small devices such as your phones, it also scales up to electric heavy machinery like the electric vehicles. The one, the one you are actually seeing here, this is a charger for your electric vehicles, and this specific one has been made by a Swiss company, which is capable of charging up to 4 cars at a time, and and it can provide up to 100 kilometers of range in just under 3 minutes, using its 360 kilowatts of power charging capacity. So now you have some idea the amount of power we deal with in power electronics. Now, all of this power needs to be generated somehow. With the current in awareness in carbon footprint and reduction by a lot of government policies throughout the world, we have been integrating a lot of renewable energies to our grid. That is solar power, wind power, tidal powers, and etc. The only drawbacks of these sources is that their generation is heavily dependent upon the environmental conditions at the time of the day. So for specifically their solar panels, at the daytime, they produce a lot of energy because the sun is high. The same for the wind. When the wind is high, it will produce more power. So the rate of generation is not constant and directly can't be connected to your power grids because the power grids will completely collapse. To convert these unpredictable power forms to a efficient, stable power forms, which we need some kind of converters that again consist of power electronics. These monitor your input power and deliver the output power according to your needs at a very specific range, has been specified by very many various policies. After this energy comes to your home. So the multiple power electronic controls allows for a very absolute control of the power grid, and then which can control the power flow and quality very efficiently. So it also allows for us for something we call as bidirectional power flow, and here comes the concept of smart grid. So a smart grid is capable of real-time decision making of its current status and then accordingly changing and manipulating the correct amounts of parameters to transfer the power from your source to your consumer efficiently. In this specific video, you can see there's a solar panel mounted on top of a house. Like you must have seen them mounted on top of our departments also. So what they actually do, they generate a lots of power during the daytime. That is ample enough to power the whole building, but also are left over with a chunk. So this chunk can actually be converted back to the electric AC supply and given and fed back to the grid through this inverters. So inverters are again an implementation of power electronic components. Now, one of the example of this smart grid implementation, you must have heard about Tesla Powerwalls, which implements this technology commercially. And many of you must be knowing Tesla for something much more than this. Any ideas? Exactly. The next is our electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are sophisticated arrangement of these very components that we just studied, and along with some new inventions that came along. So it contains a battery management system to manage its internal batteries, an onboard power controller to power or all the various luxurious apparatus in your vehicle, and also the motor controller, the most important part of a electric vehicle, which takes the DC power of the battery and then converts it to the AC power that your motor utilizes according to the driving speed and the commands given by our driver. During these days, a lot of automobile giants have been stepping in to construct EVs and development in further areas so that the ranges can be extended, the experience of the driver can be improved, and along with the more range efficiencies. Now, all of this system initially existed as a concept, an idea. So, how does it develop? To develop these kinds of concepts, we need a controlled environment, which we do in, which is a simulation. So in a simulation, you develop your design with various components in real time, and you can apply testing in any abnormal condition that might or might not occur in real world, and then test the performance accordingly. So the designers can optimize their designs in the simulation in real time, saving them a lots of money and time before for their availability of the product from research to the commercial market. Now let's move for what we have in for you. So the workshops will be first of all containing your introduction to circuit simulation. We'll be helping you with the installation, the setup, and making your own projects in it. This will be adding to your skill set, which you can actually use in your exploratory projects or any design of your own. The next, we'll be introducing the basics of power electronics. So this is one of the core concepts of electrical engineering, and having a knowledge of this really feels good. The next, we'll be giving you some tasks for application-based learning so that we can develop an out-of-the-box thinking. And obviously, we are having our lab sessions in a very old able labs. So there we can have hands-on experience and know how it is all implemented in real life. And at the last, we'll be having a platform for you, a final showdown, where you can show up your skills and then take the prize. So thank you for that, and over to you, Vaibhav.
Thank you, Astit. Yeah, audio. Thank you, Astit, for that wonderful overview. So now you have your phone booted up. You have your phone charged. There is some charge in your phone. Now, what do you do when you gain some charge in your phone? For what do you do with that? You you boot it up first, right? You can't scroll Instagram or YouTube without booting up your phone. So sometimes you must have observed like some phones boot up in 30 seconds, some phones boot up in 1 minute 20 seconds. Have you ever wondered what's really going around there? And some phones open some apps in 30 seconds, some phones open the apps in 20 seconds. So it all comes down to the processing power in the end. You must have heard about the different generations of microprocessors like i9, i5, the new graphics card of Nvidia, GPUs, different ARM structures. Have you ever really wondered about what's really going there on the digital level? Like like there are increased number of threads, increased cache, but what's really going around in the digital level? To explore more about this avenue, we are back with our digital electronic event Concilium. For this, I would like to invite Mr. Ayush Pal to tell you more about this event. Ayush Pal, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Weber. Good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm Ayush Singh Pal, and I'm here to introduce you to the world of digital electronics through our event Concilium. So, every one of you must have heard about semiconductors, right? So, semiconductors have this great property of making decisions using input voltages. So, we use this ability of semiconductors to build circuits that are that have computing power and power efficiency. These circuits are called digital circuits. These Every electronic devices have a digital chip that is responsible for the control and functioning of this electronic device. Hence, it serves the purpose of the brain of electronics. For example, in the case of EV. So if the operator wants to turn on the headlight, if he wants to turn down the windows, he would give command. The digital chip would process it and turn on the actuators to do these functioning. Hence, hence this chip is performing the hence this chip is performing the role of the computing. Now let's come to the laptops. So while buying laptops, we see which CPU it is. Is it Intel 12th generation or is it AMD? We see GPUs. Is it NVIDIA's 3000 series or is it 4000 series? Of course, is the if the power supply limits, but uh, so we see that, and that decides the computational power of our laptop. This power, using this power, we run softwares, we do coding, we develop websites, and we render videos. All this is possible due to digital electronics. The so a V, So a VLSI engineer has the role of designing these chips to be computationally fast and at the same time be power efficient. Otherwise, it would take that size of batteries to run your laptops. So in our workshops, we would be covering from the basics. We don't require any prerequisite, and we would be covering all the things that are needed for you to enter the domain. Then we will cover some advanced topics and develop the ability of building circuits through different design methodologies. We would be introducing you to different design methodologies, and so that you can build such kind of computational circuits. There would be in-class questions and graded assignments too for continuous evaluation of each and every individual. Graded assignments will also help you in your internship entrance like written exams, that is prior to your interviews. At the conclusion workshop, there would be two problem statements that would be solely based on designing the circuit, and then you have to simulate it using a Proteus simulation software. We would also teach you about that software, and these problem statements you can add in your resume as two core projects. This year we have also added hands-on experience. So I'll talk about it in next slide. Okay, so exposure to hardware implementation. So like I said, designing of circuits. So now you know what input you want, what input you have and what output you want. You have designed your circuit on a paper. That means you have designed it theoretically, but is it synthesizable? Can you implement it? So for that, we would parallelly and simultaneously teach you Verilog programming. Verilog is a language in which you will learn how to design the chip using computer. Now once you write a code in Verilog about the digital chip, you would burn this Verilog program in the FPGA. The FPGA is a reprogrammable board. That means once the task is over, you can reprogram it for another task. It has several input and output pins. You can burn this using your laptop through Vivado software. We would also teach that software, and you see this black chip over here. It is where the digital circuit is being designed by the software itself. This particular FPGA is available in our power electronics lab. So what we are planning to do is that we would at the last workshop we would be conducting a trial. We would be giving you a circuit problem based on Verilog programming, and whosoever is successfully developed the Verilog program for the synthesizable Verilog program, he would be able. We would allow him to burn this Verilog code on the FPGA himself. So key takeaways from our workshops would be you would get exposure to what are the different opportunities available in core domain. So for example, in India currently there is this Vedanta group and Foxconn merger going on. They are going to establish this chip manufacturing plant in India. This would open a door for digital engineers so that we can go and we can use this opportunity. Also, Tata is going to recently Tata has announced that it is going to enter the semiconductor industry. So we are going to develop skills for required for VLSI design. That is, I talked about design methodology and Verilog coding. As a core engineer, you must have some knowledge about hardware. That is how we should implement the circuit. Is it synthesizer? Because whatever we do on paper, it is not feasible that the circuit would actually work in real life. So for that we would give this exposure to hardware implementation, and at last we would be helping you in building your resume for your internships, as the internships are upcoming. So building your for building your resume, we would help you in developing your skills. You can also add this hardware implementation and those two core projects. So your core domain resume is already made if you attend this event. Uh, yeah, so thank you, and I hope that I see you in large numbers.
Thank you, Ayush, for that wonderful presentation. Now you have your phone ready, it's booted up. Now, what's the main purpose of a mobile phone? What do we use phone primitively? Call. You call by phone. Now, while talking to the phone is an entirely digital device. And the voice coming out of your mouth is what? It's analog in nature. That's right. Have you ever wondered, like, how can a digital device like this microphone can interact with the analog waves of my mouth? How can this analog world be bridged with this digital world? The speaker of your phone, it receives the signals via satellite in digital form, in analog form, then it processes them, and then it converts it to digital form, and then it again converts them to analog form, and then it's output via your speakers. Have you ever really wondered what really goes on those bridge? What's what happens there? So to explore this curiosity, this year, embracing the tradition of Prastuti, we have introduced an entirely new event called Oscillion. In this is an analog electronics event in which we will be bridging the gap between the digital and the analog world. So for this, I would like to invite Rishabh Bhaiya for giving a brief about this event.
by the use of, yeah, correct, amplifiers. So we try to amplify, by amplifying, what we mean is we are trying to increase the amplitude. By increasing the amplitude, what do we mean is we are trying to increase the gain. There is a sinusoidal waveform. Welcome, sir. Good afternoon. So by that we are trying to increase the amplitude of that sinusoidal waveform, and in respect to that we are increasing the volume. So that's one of the application of analog electronics. Then we are moving to analog electronics from this, instead of digital, because the analog circuits are made to deal with the higher voltage, current, and the power levels. Moving on to our workshops, so we'll have a total of 6 workshops. The first workshop will have the introduction to RLC circuits, the circuit analysis and the synthesis, then the introduction to Laplace transform. You guys must have solved differential equations, the second order differential equations, third order differential equations. So can you name any method to solve differential equation? Anyone? Yeah, variable separation, inspection method. But do you know about Laplace transform? Yeah, Laplace transform is used to solve differential equations, and higher order differential equations could be solved easily by using Laplace transform. So we'll be introducing you to Laplace transforms, circuit analysis, their synthesis. Then we are moving to the op amps. Op amps are operational amplifiers through which we'll be going deep into diode biasing, then transfer characteristics, and the summing amplifiers, the summer circuit, the adder circuits. Moving on to filter designs. Let's say that we want to have extract some signals from a given signal. So that for that we design filters. They are low pass filters, high pass filters. So we'll moving into that in the third workshop. In fourth workshops, we'll be going into basics of PLC, Programmable Logic Controller. In that, the programming used for designing PLCs, the components required, and its operations and applications. Then moving on to the semiconductor design. Do you guys have heard about BJT, bipolar junction transistor? So in an electrical circuit, you have heard about independent source and dependent source. So independent source is just the electrical supply or a battery. But do you think this we have a component available for dependent source? There's supply available for dependent source? No. Actually, BJT is used for as a dependent source. It acts as a constant current source. So the dependent source which is shown in the electrical circuit as a symbol, that's actually BJT. That's the involvement of analog devices in our electrical circuits. Then in the sixth workshop, we'll be introducing you to some problem statements, and you'll be asked to simulate it and find output to corresponding to different input waveforms. And that will be the end of the event. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rishabh Bhaiya, for that wonderful overview for the event. Now you have your phone booted up, you can talk into it, it's working fine. But that's not what we use a smartphone for, because there's a word smart in it. If I ask you which app do you use most of the time, which site you spend your most time on it? Anyone? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, the social networks. So I can I can confidently say each and every one of you sitting here might have might have thought about a great idea about implementing your own social network, about building your own world-changing program. But the knowledge, but the lack of knowledge about how to build such an application, how to deploy them, how to make them scalable, must have restricted you. So let's break those bonds of and let's start our journey into the turbulent waters of development and via our event Hack Overflow. In this event, we will be teaching you the cutting edge frameworks of web development. And for this, I would like to give the mic to Nile to tell you more about this event. Nile, over to you.
अबे So hello and good afternoon to all of you. So what exactly is web development? You all must be wondering. So web development is anything that involves creating, designing, managing websites that are used to make people aware of a product or a service that you or your organizations are offering. Websites are used for a variety of purposes. These includes e-commerce activities, communication, information sharing. Do you know that all the websites that are developed by weeks, days, sometimes months, or even years of hard work? So, what it is like developing a website, what it is like developing the logic behind it, developing the code that makes each and every page run smoothly. Also, developing the backend that enables us to click anywhere on the website, and we could access those clicks, we could manage those things. If you like these, this is the event that you have been waiting for. We are going to teach you all these things. Does it sound interesting? So, this is the event that we are going to teach you the web development so that we could ignite the inner developers inside you. Now, going on to the next slide. First, we should understand what the structure of a website is. So, a website consists of a front end and a back end. So, what does the front end of a website include? The front end of a website includes everything that you are able to see on your screen, and that is also known as the client side of a website. The backend includes everything that you are not able to see. It includes the databases, the servers, everything, and it is known as the server side of your website. To learn about it more clearly, let me give you an example of a website that you all must have been using frequently: Instagram. So in the Instagram, when you type the URL of Instagram on a browser, what happens? The page loads. Everything is displayed. The browser knows what are to display. So here the images, the text, the formatting of each and everything on the website that you are able to see is known as the front end of the website. So now what exactly is the back end of the website? If you open the Instagram from your mobile or from any other device, from anywhere in the world, you all know that you will be able to see the same posts, same number of likes, the comments from the same users. So how is it possible? The data must be stored somewhere, and the browser must exactly know when to call the data and from where to call the data to get the same posts, same likes, and same comments. So that involves the backend. The backend is the logic involved of data storing and data fetching so that everybody could see something uniform all across. Now, I'd like to hand over to Shubhangi.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I'm Shubhangi Chaudhary from Electrical Engineering Part 3. So why exactly should you participate in Hack Overflow? We have, apart from it being an interesting event, Hack Overflow opens tons of opportunities for you all. Specifically, if we talk about web development, let's start with internships. Do you know 40% of the firms that hire through hackathons? If you're not interested in participating in those CP contests, if you're not interested in data structures and algorithms as such, you can be a part of big firms like GitHub and Flipkart by simply participating in their hackathons. Next, startups. If you're aiming to, build your own startup or even, interning in one, web development is one of the most important skills that you should know because it encompasses not only coding, but designing your own web pages as well. Next, publishing your own Hack Overflow assignments would be an open source experience for you all. So what exactly is open source? Open source is the code that is available public to anyone. Anyone can change it, modify it, read it. So if you take part in the Hack Overflow workshops, you'll learn tons of stacks through which you can contribute in various open source projects and subsequently take part in the various programs that happen in an open source community. Again, placements. As I said, once you take part in hackathons, you get the gist, you get the serotonin of taking part in hackathons. Those 48 hours of coding and surviving on coffee and code. That's the life. And through that, you can become part of big firms, as I said. Next, what we have in store for you. First of all, you'll learn the basic skeleton of a website, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Next, you'll learn about API calls. API stands for Application Programming Interface. These are the calls that control, as Nilay mentioned, each and every click that you do on a website, on any particular button. Each and every click is being controlled by these API calls. Next is React. React is one of the most prominent front-end framework that is present in the world today. It was developed by Facebook for Facebook. So you'll learn React and its various components about how to work with React. Next, introduction to backend. This is where the logic part comes in. You'll be introduced to backend, how to create a backend for your website. The website doesn't need to be pretty always, right? It has to be functional. For that, you need the backend. Next, the server integration, and subsequently the final hackathon in which you'll have a submission in which you'll use all these skills that you'll learn and bring out the developer inside you. Thank you. Over to you, Nila.
So yesterday we circulated a poster calling for the orientation. In that poster description, we wrote about some nice surprises for you guys. So here they are. This is the 23rd iteration of Prastuti is co-presented by Skill Reactor. Skill Reactor is a UK-based startup. It it develops the skills of web development in the technology enthusiast. For this year, for each and every participant of Hack Overflow, we are giving away a 3-month long subscription of Skill Reactor platform. Each subscription costs each subscription costs £25. If you take the conversion rate, that's around 2,500 rupees per head. And we'll be giving it away to each and every one of you for the whole duration of the workshops. You will be deploying your apps on their website. Their website integrates artificial intelligence and machine learning to check your codes. You will be able to develop your codes on industry levels. And the final winners of the hackathon will get a lifelong access of of the platform. And what's the great part? What's the catch here? Whoever wins here, their code will be published on their site, accessible to the whole world. Their code will be published by them as a course. Other people will be learning from your code across the world, and your GitHub repo would be linked to it. You will get stars. You will be get familiar with GitHub. I've just heard of that. So that's one of the gift that we have planned for you. Now, change the slide. So that's for the Hack Overflow. Now, while using Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, can you guess how many content users are there on Instagram at once? Anyone? Search it up. Tell me. Use the power of technology. On an average, anyone? It's in millions, I guess. I don't have the exact number. 1.38 millions. That's the average amount. Now, have you ever wondered, like, have you ever seen Instagram lagging down? Rarely. Sometime it happens, but that's a rare event. Have you ever seen YouTube going down due to the overflux of crowd? So many terminals connected, so many people accessing the same site at the same time. It never goes down. You all have used Google Maps, I think. That's the new way of navigation of the 21st century. No one knows the ways now anymore. So, what's really the magic taking place there? Like, they take a photo from the satellite and then they're able to tell you the exact way and the shortest way that you can take for that particular location. How's that magic possible? It's not the magic, it's just the algorithms, the world defining algorithms. So, to make you familiar with various data structures and algorithms, we are back with Codigo. And yeah, this is that event like DSC Intel lag jayegi. So, so for this, I would like to call Tanvi for giving a brief of this event.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tanip from Electrical Engineering Part 3. Today, I will be briefing you all about Codigo, a data structures and algorithms event. So, in this technologically paced world, softwares and computers have wide applications in every field. So, it is very essential to have good knowledge of computers so that we can transfer our intentions to the machine in a simple and concise manner. Today, systems are so complex and large in number that it is very difficult to handle them manually. That's why we developed programs who can do the desired work. There are many applications of softwares and computers in electrical engineering as well, like they are used to simulate various electrical circuits using simulation softwares like MATLAB and PSIM. They are also used to evaluate numerous control systems and power systems. Now, to discover new things, we need to be well versed with existing technology. That's why we need to have some good programmers who can improve the existing solutions and solve complicated problems. So, for all those who wants to learn programming, Prastuti brings you Codigo, a data structures and algorithms event. So, what are the aims of Codigo? Participants are expected to solve problems in contest environment. Nowadays, work is very challenging and so you must be able to work in a stressful environment. So, Prastuti brings you Codigo, which will help the participants to deal with that pressure and solve problems in some limited time frame ranging from few hours to few days. Now, since there can be multiple ways to solve a problem, but to get the most efficient solution, you need to solve the problem in some limited time, and and your solution should adhere to some time and space constraints. When you work in some industry or research labs, you have to follow certain pattern of writing input. That's why you are expected to write code which obeys specific form of input to give output in a required format. So what do a competitive programming test? So it will test our algorithmic skills since we will be learning new algorithms and will learn how to implement them. It will help in learning maths since we will be dealing with basic maths. It will test our programming skills. It will test our debugging skills since while writing code we get many errors, so we have to debug them also. It will test our speed since the faster we type, the more problems we are able to solve. And also it will test our creativity since there can be many creative ways to solve a problem. Now next, what do you gain from Codigo? So it will help you in improving logical and analytical skills since we will be solving a wide variety of problems. It will make you fast and more focused. It will help you to solve complicated problems and learn how to break down complex problems into simpler ones. And overall, you will be able to compete in prestigious contests like ACM, ICPC, Google Code Jam, etc. Also, that this all will make you a desirable candidate to major software companies. Now, where can we practice these coding problems? There are numerous coding platforms to practice coding problems like HackerRank, CodeForces, CodeChef, A2OJ, Spoj, and AdCoder, etc. So now coming to the workshop part, we are planning 5 workshops. The details and content of each workshop has been mentioned in the slides. You can check them out later. Now final event structure. So the final event will be an individual event. It will be open for all and the contest duration will be of 2.5 hours. It will consist of around 5 to 6 problems which will be sorted according to their difficulty level, and after that final evaluation will be done and the top performers will be awarded. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
वो कहाँ गया? Thank you, Tanvi, for that wonderful overview. You know, the surprises does not end there. We have another surprise for you guys here. Codigo is being powered by Geek for Geeks. And for each and every participant, and for each and every participant, we will be giving away coupon codes. And for the best performers, there will be merchandise from the sides of GFG, and they also have a shot at getting an internship at GFG. You know what's cool than cracking a internship in your second year. So now moving ahead to the next event. So now we have made our social network. We had implemented our algorithms in it. Now while scrolling the Instagram, sometimes doesn't it feel like the Instagram is specifically targeting you, specifically giving you advertisement based on your interest, specifically specifically recommending a particular product, like you have been talking to your friend about a camera and then it starts recommending cameras to you. It starts recommending pen drives, video games, or sometimes even during end sems books. So that's not there's no person sitting behind the screen listening to each and everything that you do. That's the magic of machine learning and artificial intelligence. I know those two are big words, and they are gaining more and more traction and more popularity nowadays. Most of you might have heard about machine learning, artificial intelligence, but let me assure you, no one really knows about it. So to explore more of this avenue, I would like to introduce Mr. Vidit to tell you more about these big terms, artificial intelligence, AI, and a lot more. And we have more gifts coming for you.
ये इंटरनेट वीडियो रुक गई ना इंटरनेट चला गया इंटरनेट लॉगिन कर लो नेट पे सर्च करके देखो
Let's begin. Start even.
हाँ एक मिनट लॉगिन कर लो ना हाँ जल्दी करो भाई मेरे लिए रुका था बस कि तुम आवाज तो सही है लैपटॉप 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 ले दूसरा एक लैपटॉप लैपटॉप ले आओ भाई साहब एक लैपटॉप ले कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना बोल भाई मेरे में करना पड़ेगा हाँ so are you guys aware of what is machine learning what is AI about it do you have any idea yeah start please give some introduction like what idea do you have stand up and say Yeah. Okay, nice. Done, हो गया. No, no, no. Okay. ठीक है. अब यहाँ से नहीं इसको skip कर देना बीच की वीडियो को. ठीक है. AI, ML, DL are the buzzwords these days, and I'm sure you must have heard this word somewhere or the other. From getting recommendations for the next series to binge on, to the next song to watch, to the next song to vibe on, machine learning is everywhere. To to cater your burning curiosity, to cater your burning curiosity regarding machine learning, we have introduced Recognizance, the machine learning event of Prastuti. In this workshop, in this we will be covering the core concepts of machine learning, data science, computer vision, and reinforcement learning. All these sessions would be associated with hands-on labs, which will help you to gain practical knowledge. It would be followed by a discussion in which we would unfold various other domains of machine learning which are impacting our day-to-day life, which would be concluded by a guest talk and the launch of a problem statement. Machine learning is the first class ticket to the most exciting careers today and the world to come. The benefits of machine learning and participating in Recognizance are getting jobs, internships, and to go to higher education. Of course, cherry on the cake, contributing to open source organization, and what more? Yeah, exciting rewards and surprises to all the participants. And to your surprise, few of these workshops would be sponsored by Google AI. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to rev up your cooling pants? बस.
Thank you, Vedit, for that disconnecting presentation. So now we have explored from digital electronics to analog electronics, from power electronics to machine learning. But you know where these all begins from? Research. These are not magic. Nothing. These cutting edge and world defining technologies are just a byproduct of research. In research, we try to solve some problem, and then we arrive at a solution, and that solution gives rise to more problem, and then we try to solve them by exploring new solutions. And as a byproduct, we get these new and world defining technologies. Prastuti in 2001 was started as a paper presentation event, and so we are back here, and this is where it all started. The event for paper presentation. Dr. M.K. Verma is here. He's the mentor professor for this event. He conducted Prastuti 2014 and Prastuti 2011. So thank you, sir, for being here with us. So to tell you more about this event, I would like to invite the co-convener, Mr. Piyush Yadav. Piyush, I hand over the mic to you.
Hello. So hello everyone. My name is Piyush Yadav. I am the co-convener of Prastuti. I would like to introduce to the event named Prastuti presentation. Prastuti paper presentation. Everything we have demonstrated till now was possible because of research. Research was the main factor in it. So what is paper presentation? The event has two words, paper and presentation. Presentation refers to how you tell everyone what have you done in the research, and paper refers to how will you do the documentation of it. As you all know, the Prastuti started as the India Students Paper Presentation Contest by Electrical Engineering Society in 2001. So it is one of the most important event of Prastuti. In this event, students can present papers on any project they have done in the fields of electrical, electronics, robotics, or any other field which includes electrical or electronics engineering. These are some photos on the previous iterations of the Prastuti. Coming to the judging criteria, professors will judge your presentation The judging will be not done on the basis of research, but it also included how you present the paper. Like if your research is based on power electronics control system, that the professors having specialization in that field will be present to judge you, give you marks, and on the basis of marks, all the evaluation will be done. You will be thinking about what are the benefits of the paper presentation. This will strengthen your research skills, presentation skills, and introduce aspiring engineers like you to the realm of innovation. It's a great opportunity for you all to develop your research profiles. You can also add it to your resumes, CVs, paper get published. If you are already into research, then it will help you to get a research intern. If you want to pursue the corporate side, and after 2 to 3 years, if you want to switch the company or leave the company, then you have to prepare document. What have you done in 2 to 3 years? For this, documentation will help you. It will also help you in your accelerated project, beta project, MTech project. These workshops will also will really be helpful for you. So this with this, I would end paper presentation and handing over to Vaibhav.
So at the starting, I told you like it's in the bloodstream of Prastuti to take new risk, to be the pole bearer and spearhead into the new technologies. We are the first phase who is going to announce an app this year. We are going to integrate our app and website. So let's take a look at how the app will look like. Okay, like what? So you will be able to like we have implemented Google authentication for that for login purposes, and you will be able to register via app for each and every event. You will be able to scroll it through, and there will be a profile page for you. It will show which team you are in. It's a total social network we have created here. You will to accept the request from other teams and explore how many teams have registered for it, join different teams. So and you will get a WhatsApp link to each and every group on the app. So it will be totally automatic. There will be zero delays, and we hope to see registrations in large number. So so another surprise for you guys. Uh, fine, like first time in 23 years, we are launching the hoodies for the electrical engineering students, undergrad students. This these are the designs. Like currently, you will not be able to see it like it's on projectors, but by today's evening, you will get a form for you will we will circulate a form and you will be able to place your orders. And let me assure you, we are selling it at a zero profit here. These merchandise would have not been possible without the full support of our head of department, Dr. R.K. Pandey, sir. For that, I'm very thankful to him. And thank you. And I would like to thank you all. Now, now I would like to invite Dr. R.K. Pandey to grace us with some few auspicious words. So, would you like? सर पोडियम का माइक नहीं ऑन ऑन सर ऑन है सर दोनों ऑन है कोई भी आप यूज कर सकते हैं सर 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 कुछ नहीं
I would like to first congratulate the students of the department who have taken the initiative for the Prastuti 2023. the basic purpose of Prastuti once it was started long back by late Professor S. N. Mahindra was to primarily involve the students in creative activities and thought-provoking research contributions which are not only innovative but contributory for the society at large. So the main concern as a participant from the students should be you are attending the Prastuti 2023 not only to participate but to contribute to the most which can be an example to the outside world about your talent, about your creativity, about your contribution, about your delivery as the last item. It may be a software, it may be a product, it may be a patent. Right? So the Department of Data Engineering is the oldest department of the country. It's the first department of the country, and it has big responsibility. And as a faculty, we all are committed to deliver the best whatever can be with the resources available at our end. Since the country is leading the world now, so it is the responsibility of the young generation and all faculty members to ensure that whatever contributions comes in the world, India becomes the first. And therefore, our Prime Minister has coined the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this concept is not only going to energize your mind, but energize the entire country in the technology innovations. As a power sector professional, I had been Director General Government of India 2020, 16 to 2020. So I had my own experience that country can lead in any direction. Only the points which is important for us to learn is commitment and dedication to the work, to the profession, to the society, and that too within well-defined timelines. It's not like that you define that you do and you do for a year. No. If you are within target lines, the timelines, only then your research is visible and contributory and you can be competitive in the world. If you keep on doing the research and waiting, it will be done another 1 month or another 2 months. So you are lagging behind the world because like you, many persons in the world are working throughout 24/7. And whosoever comes first is the innovator. Whosoever comes second is not the innovator. So therefore, what I advise you on, whatever you do, whatever you think, immediately publish the paper, write the content. Because as and when it is published, even though it is conference, it is the material, it is you are the first person to get the credit and no one can challenge that you are not first innovator. So keep in mind whatever thought process comes to you, that thought process must come in public domain well within time, at the earliest possible. That will give you the recognition and fame in the respective area of research or contributions, whatever you are doing or you are going to do. Now, as your friends talked about machine learning is nothing new. It is the old concept. Only it is coined with machine learning. And machine learning is primarily deriving the information from the data available and redefining the data set for the new problem domain and with efficient system realization. So its machine learning is almost getting upgraded in real time. As and when you keep on going ahead and ahead, machine learning concept is evolving each stage. You cannot say the machine learning algorithm developed that is a end. No. Each time algorithm is evolving on its own. So what I talk about, whenever we talk about machine learning should be applied for the self-healing of the society, self-healing of the technology, such that technology is learning through machine learning and upgrading itself. And that becomes the innovation. No one has done it. So what point what one of your friends were mentioning, like you are visiting the website like Facebook, LinkedIn, or any Twitter also, for example, what they are having the only data analytics of the individual contribution or individual comments or individual search, and out of this particular search they are giving you the what you want to view further, or would you like to get, you might be getting the information, would like to see this. So it's all based upon your own data set they are interpreting and then putting the new data set that this also level you can view. So what I put, the one thing what has come to my mind today, that is, if the technology becomes self-healing, then machine learning can be applied to technology innovations, which will provide the bridge to bridge the technology gap existing. And each time this becomes the driver for the research, and that becomes the professional contribution in the industrial domain, in the public domain, and the larger domain of the society will be getting benefit. With these words, I would like to request you all, put your raw talent concentrated and directed, which will provide you the strength and the bright future, and future of the India is totally bright. I am sure about this. Thank you very much.
So, thank you, sir, for your kind words, for your encouraging words. Dr. M.K. Verma has been the head of Prastuti 2014. So I would like to invite Dr. M.K. Verma on the stage to present a few words to you all. So,
Am I audible? Last bench. Okay. So this Prastuti is a platform that gives you explore your innovative ideas. What you have, everybody of you have got some hidden talents that has to come out. Your creativity has to come out. So this started, as Professor Pandey told, the first Prastuti was held in 2001 and under the able leadership of late Professor S.N. Mahendra. And now 23 years have come since uh, this festival, technical festival started. And it promotes your creativity. Whatever ideas you have got, that you have to present uh, present before the a group of people, and it also promotes your presentation skills. So it is not only important that what you have, what innovative ideas you have, but also how whether people are able to get attracted by what you are talking. So apart from your ideas, it also decides how well you are able to present to the audience. So 2014 Prastuti, I was the organizing secretary, faculty in charge, and I had my two hands. As now also you may be having some convener and co-convener. So as I remember the names, Mr. Chaitanya was convener and Rupal Jain was co-convener. and you are inviting teams from the whole country. How many teams are participating this year? Still not started. You should have started it long back because what is the dates? So you have only 3 months. So actually, when 2014 Prastuti was conducted, we started it. The whole team formation was made in August 2013, and it was the effort of students for almost 6 to 7 months, and they worked day and night to make the event successful. So you have less time now. So you have to put lot of effort because you have to advertise it. You are on the web. You are advertising, and then you will have participation from different engineering colleges. So it will take. You have to give some time. And for example, say main event of this Prastuti is paper presentation. To promote technical and research skills of students. And for paper presentation, you have to set some deadline for getting papers from students, and then it is to be evaluated by experts in the corresponding fields, the faculty members in respective specialization, they have to evaluate the paper, and then they have to select the papers for presentation. And in that also you have to check plagiarism content also. Paper doesn't mean you copy something from the net and then write a paper. No. So for that there is software. It is available in the lab. One software is Turnitin software. Our research scholars and PG students are using that for writing paper. So that gives how much plagiarism content is there. So I suggest you it should not be more than 20 to 25% for you, BTech students. So write paper accordingly first. So that work is to be done by you people, not faculty members. Okay, so you make some team and first check the contents, check plagiarism content. If some paper is having higher than 25%, reject it, don't send it to for review. And the papers which are less than 25%, then give it to, you can make some team of faculty members for different specializations. So get it reviewed by two faculty members, and then the selected papers will be called for presentation. Then presentation two categories. One is the paper presentation, and other is poster. Poster they have to display, and then they have to show what they have done. And paper presentation through PowerPoint they will present it. And then again judges will be there as faculty members in respective specialization. They will evaluate papers, and then you will give awards to the best papers. So that is all about this paper presentation. Other events you are master. I am not to tell you. Okay.
So everyone, with this, we'll be ending the orientation of Prastuti. I would like to thank Dr. R.K. Pandey and Dr. M.K. Verma for coming here and giving their important time for this orientation and gracing us with their presence. Thank you very much, sir. All the other students who are present here, if you have any doubts, the event heads would be here. You can ask them.